Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you guys are feeling nice, okay? Feeling nice, feeling fine, taking care of yourselves, right? Enjoying April, zooming by. You already know how these months go past, right? And how time just zooms. So you want to make sure that with the passage of time, right, you're enjoying life to the fullest, okay? We're going to wait for some more folks to come up in here. And I'm going to go in tonight, okay? I'm going to go in. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to all the nitty gritty stuff, so the stuff I like to talk about, different things I like to do. Everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, India. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you as always. Um, it's always nice to vibe with everybody here, okay? And I hope you guys have been enjoying the channel. I hope you guys have been enjoying the vibes. And I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves and elevating to the highest degree that you can. All right, everybody. Yes, I'm completely aware that I look a little different tonight, right? But one thing that you're going to see on this channel is that I don't mind being different. I don't mind pushing the envelope a little bit further than some people might take heed to or be comfortable with, right? So, if you like that real talk, if you guys check my profile description, if you like that real talk, you're definitely in the right place because I don't really have nothing else to talk about but real things, right? So if that's kind of like your vibe, then you're definitely in the right place. And same with you guys too. If you guys could usher me to where the real vibes are, right? I would greatly appreciate it. Show me what you guys are working on. Send me your links, send me your businesses, send me um your books, send me your products, right? Like definitely show me what you guys have going on if you wish to share. Because as much as I have to share, a lot of things I have to say, a lot of things I want to share, I also take interest in what you guys have going on as well, right? So if you guys wish to share, even on the community posts that I make, like if you want to just be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, I would love to see that. I would love to see that for sure. Everybody, thank you. Hey, Cam, nice to see you. Everybody, I'm ready to go in, okay? I'm ready to go hard tonight because, I've been laughed at. I've been the laughing stock, even in situations like that. Like, I would even go as far as to say that. Like, I've been in situations where I was just the sole individual who was being mocked, right? Who was being kind of like, casted out and like openly ridiculed. I've been in those situations and I know exactly how it feels. And also on this channel, like I'm not going to talk about what I don't know about, right? Like, please understand that when I talk about certain things on this channel, it isn't just hocus pocus or they are not like random concepts that come to my mind. These are oftentimes firsthand accounts, right, of things that I've dealt with, things that I've been through, things that I've seen. I talk about what I know, right? I've talked about what I've witnessed, what I've been a participant of, or what I've been a victim of. And so, that's why when I say I come on here, I'm talking about things that I know about, right? And I can relate to. That's why we're building a community here, because a lot of us can relate, right, to similar circumstances. And that's how you build community and that's how you go up, right? So, thank you guys. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Firewall says, hello, vibe is good, but let's not let the trolls sidetrack the stream. Hey, free will, there's always going to be trolls, right? But no matter what, you just got to do what you do, right? You got to do what you do. You can't let that derail you because that's what happens when you're going up. There's going to be people who are beckoning you to fail, beckoning for you to fail, beckoning for you to get distracted so that you get sidetracked, right? But you cannot let that infiltrate your life, right? Like there has to be like boundaries that are in place for sure. But that's something to be aware of, right? Well, like, when you're going up, you're going to be distracted or there are going to be threats of distraction because when people see you're doing a good thing, they want to come and intercept, they want to knock you off course, right? Because they don't want to see where your greatness is going to lead to, right? So definitely stay focused, right? But if you've been laughed at, I'm telling you, nobody's laughing now, right? You may have been the laughing stock, but now people are taking heed and noticing that you have shifted, you have changed, right? Like you're not, it's nothing's funny anymore. Now things are real tense. Now people are like really watching you and seeing that you are in a newfound energy, right? Like you're not where you used to be. You're not who you used to be. You're on a whole other level, right? You're literally going higher. You're on a whole other level. You're doing things that they never fathomed that you could do. They would never have thought that you could be where you're at right now. And now, so it's not funny anymore, right? Like the person that used to poke fun at and ha ha and he he too, that's not the energy that they're in anymore. Now they're feeling kind of concerned, right? A lot of them are feeling like pressed, like kind of worried about what is this switch up? What are you doing now? Like, where are you going now? Why are you moving so brand new? You're going to have people feeling like you're different and, even like calling it out. Like, why are you moving like you think you're better than everybody else, right? But all you really did to the bare bones was elevate your mind. Like you changed the way that you thought, and now you're moving in that changed way, right? You're moving in a different way. You're moving in a different fashion. And so that is why people are not going to laugh at you anymore. There's nothing funny. Now it's kind of like you're surpassing a lot of people. Like, what's so funny about that? Right? Because people will look at you and they'll feel like, he's not really going anywhere, right? Or he's not going to be able to get very far because they're superficial people. They think that they know you, right? But at the end of the day, they don't really know you like that, right? They don't really know what you're capable of. We shock ourselves even. So what do they think? Who do they think we really are when we get astounded by what we're able to even do, right? Imagine how astounded they feel or how shocked they are. They may laugh at you in years down the line when they see you, right? It's like they can't believe that it's you. They can't believe that this is the same person they used to mock, or this is the same person that they used to bully, or this is the same person that they used to laugh at and poke fun at and dumb down or try to like make you feel small. Now they feel small beside somebody like you because you're a giant now, right? Like they did not give you a chance to see when perhaps you would get your wings or when perhaps you would take off, right? Like they weren't thinking that there was a possibility that you can get to those kinds of heights. Now they know, right? Now they know that you're higher than high, right? Now they know that, you can have everything you want and you're getting everything that you want. Even though they undermined you or they underestimated you, now they see that no, you are quite successful. Like you have a lot of options. You're doing a lot of things that they laughed at you for. It could have been a venture that people thought was silly, right? Like, why are you trying to do that? You cannot do that. You're not going to be able to achieve this. And then two twos, not only do you achieve it, you're surpassing all expectations. So how does that work? Right? Like, where's the laughing now? Right? Where's the congratulations? Where is all of that? You would think at least, at the minimum, that when they see who you really are and they see how you could really move, that they would at least come out of the woodwork and just dap you up. You know what I mean? And say, oh, my bad. Right? Like, I didn't know. But they don't move like that, right? Like a lot of folks will just stay in the background, stay in the shadows, lingering, shocked, astounded, upset, surprised, flabbergasted, just all the related synonyms. Just trying to figure out, how did you get to that? How did you achieve that? How did you manage to accomplish that? With who? With what money? With what health? Right? Like they looked at you, they thought like you were not going to be able to do that or do these things. And you're astounding people with your actual with your stamina, right? And with your strong mindset. Imagine being laughed at and you make it. Like imagine that. Imagine the shock of the haters and the naysayers after they think the laughter is going to deter you, but actually it probably energizes you, right? And it makes you feel invigorated to a certain degree, like, okay, all right, laugh, laugh. But when you guys see me, the next time you guys see me, you may not be able to recognize me, or you guys may not be able to laugh again, right? Or to make a sound, right? Like some people, when you see them again and they see that you've elevated, they won't make a sound. They will not utter a noise. They can't say nothing. right? They can't even forget laughing. They can't make a sound. Let's read the comments here, everybody. I thank you guys. When I start talking, sometimes it's hard for me to stop a little bit. Thank you guys very much for being here. David, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Easter says, keep the fake love, foolishness, mess, and drama away from me, right? Nadia, nice to see you. You said they don't know squat. Exactly. Everybody, I thank you guys so much for the fantastic vibes. Josh, nice to see you. You said I set small goals every day, so I have accomplishments and appreciate my growth. It's how I stay humble and driven. 100%. You have to have goals. You have to have goals. You see, a lot of times people snicker and they sneer because they think that you don't have any goals, or they think that you have nothing good to look forward to. And little do they know, you're about to blow up, right? You're about to take off. You're about to shut everything down, right? Because you're coming different. You're not cut from the same cloth. You're different than a lot of these folks out here. And they're starting to see that their laughter and their mockery and their, just kind of being like immature and trying to make you feel small was short-sighted, right? Because now they're witnessing a giant come to life, right? Like that's who you are. You're coming to life. You're finding your groove. You're finally in your element, right? Like there's nothing more attractive than that. Finally being in your element, being where you gotta being where you should be. What is more attractive than that? Right? And so people start getting kind of jealous because you're in the spot. They see that you feel good now, or they see that you're confident now and you're vibing with it, like you're doing well. You're doing well. And people will hate on the fact that you're doing awesome, like you're getting everything. You're getting accolades, you're getting higher. You have a lot more privileges, you have a lot more blessings being pretty much thrown your way, right? Because you answered the call, like you're finally where you should be. Now nobody's laughing, right? Now nobody has nothing to say. It's very desolate. It's very, stale. The vibes could be stale. You could be going around people vibrant and everybody's just kind of stale. Everybody's acting like off, right? Like what happened, right? No longer the laughing stock. They should have thought twice before they laughed. Because if they had given you a chance, or if they had been a supporter, if they had been somebody who was going to be a rider, if they were going to be open to your presence or open to your gifts, they would have seen a whole other side of you, right? But they shut you down before you blew up. Now that you're blowing up, it's going to be all types of different reactions. They're going to vary. You're going to have people who want to hit you up now and want to collaborate now because they see that you have a star quality, or you have star qualities, right? That you're very valuable, or I should say invaluable. You know what I mean? Like you're somebody who, it's beyond being an asset to a company. It's beyond being able to teach and educate and to elevate. Like you just look good to be around, right? Like people probably feel more energized in your presence because you're actually a genuinely good person who has a lot to offer. And people could have mocked you thinking that you had nothing. It was all flatlined. You had nothing to give. And they're realizing it's the exact opposite, that you're so abundant, like they need something from you now, right? It could have been people who dismissed you and said, you don't have nothing. You can't help me. How can you help me? What are you going to do for me? Tuesday turn around, you're doing so well for yourself, you could do outreach work. You're able to like go out there and help others that cannot help themselves, even though, or even if you could have been in that same spot. That's very telling, right? That's very, very telling of how far you've grown and how humble you are, right? And how many skills you are and how your heart looks like, right? So, they're not laughing now. They're not laughing now. People could laugh at you because they would not do the work that you do, or they would not dare, like get into that area. They would not want to get themselves into that. Like, for example, if you do charity work and you're around snidey people who feel like that's beneath them, right? So they might laugh like, oh, you go and feed the homeless people every Saturday? Why? Why are you doing that? Why do you care? They got themselves there. Why do you care? Then they're seeing how it enriches you, it elevates you, people love you, people respect you. They see that you have a good heart, you come from a good place, you come from a real place. Now the people that used to laugh and mock, like, oh, why would you do such degrading work? Why would you limit yourself? Why would you bring yourself down to that level? Are seeing that actually you're on a very high level, right? Like, you elevated so high, you're able to come right back down, right? And you're able to go up, down, like you could go anywhere, you can go any which way, right? So people are seeing that you're quite versatile, right? That you may be up, right? But you're never too up to come back down, right? Not to come back down to kamikaze yourself or self-destruct, right? But to come down in the sense that, hey, I'm happy, I'm doing well, but I will try to help where I can. I will do what I can. I will be the best that I can. I still love people. I still try, I still give. I'm still humble. My heart did not change. My heart space did not change. In fact, it grew, right? A lot of times when you answer the call and you start getting into your work and you start, finding your groove for what matters most to your life, your mission, it humbles you so much that you want to go out there, you want to give back, right? Like, you want to go out there, you want to educate, right? You're going to feel that overwhelming sense that you have something to give, or you got something to say, or you learn so much, you just can't keep it to yourself, and you want to really elevate other people around you in whichever way that you can, right? Or whichever way that it matters to you, right? So definitely could be like that. Thank you, Josh, for sharing that. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much. I love the commentary. Thank you guys so very much. Yep. Trolls in the chat. Trolls choose to be faceless. I don't know who they are, right? But they know who they are, and they've decided to be a certain way, right? And so have I, and so have us, all of us. We decide what we want to do, and we decide how we want to vibe. And just remember that every single time that people laugh at you, make a mockery of you, look at you, gawk at you, looking at you up and down, try to make you feel insecure, trying to make you feel like you're not doing nothing. These are the same people that watch you the heaviest. They'll watch you the longest. They'll be your heaviest critiques. Why do you care? Right? Why do you care so much if you don't agree, or if you don't like, or if, why do you stalk? Why do you watch? There's always going to be trolls. They're going to actually multiply when you get more in life. When you start getting up there, I'm telling you, watch them scatter to your world. Watch them kind of just converge, right? And they all kind of move sneaky and bizarre. And they don't realize that they're kind of outing themselves to be who they are. Like, they're not realizing that they're showing their true face all the time. When you're going up in life, don't underestimate what a hater will do, or what a lurker will do, and how far they will go. And they try to like hide, and they want to be coy. And in the end, you're going up. All the negativity that the folks spread, it doesn't matter. It's completely insignificant. No matter what, you're still on that upward movement, right? While they're docile, watching, like studying, where is that bringing them? No motion, right? No motion, no forward movement, really. Just an obsessive state that is kind of like being on a hamster wheel. Like, how far do you really think you're getting, right? How far are you getting really on a hamster wheel, right? It's just a loop. Just a loop. And when you break free from the matrix, when you break free from the monotony, right, of society, and you break free from that, and you start really branching out to do what you want to do, even if that involves being a lone wolf now, I'm telling you, it's going to be the best time of your life, right? It reminds me of that Kid Ink track, Time of Your Life. Love that track. Kid Ink is really interesting to me. And I like that track quite a bit because I could resonate with that track, because you got to live your best life. You literally, what else can you do? Even if people laugh at you and mock you, you still got to live your best life, because it's you, That's waking up in the morning and you got to live this life. You know, you have to live that life. This is your life. Even if people laugh at you, smile and go up, go higher, right? Like show them why, show yourself why. Why do you wake up every morning? You know, why, you know, what can you make of yourself? What can you do? What can you show? What can you branch out and do? What can you expand? What can you create, right? You have so many skills that you haven't even uncovered yet, right? So it's all about self-discovery. You want to be open and you want to be privy to how can you expand yourself? How can you expand? Understand that when you do expand, you're going to be met with people who are very archaic in nature, right? Like you're gonna meet people who they don't see things for the current state. Like they don't see things as modern. They're not with the times. You know, they don't want to be with the times. And not only are they ignorant with what the times entail, but they also frown upon or they look down on what is real, what is true, and kind of have this archaic dinosaur mentality or, you know, lack mentality. It's all self-prescribed, really. You know, people who just don't want to see things for what they really are, don't want to see things for the truth, you know. So when you speak the truth, you're going to be attacked, you're going to be ridiculed, you're going to be knocked down, you're going to be silenced or attempted, you know, it's going to be an attempt or multiple attempts, because society has been conditioned and people have been conditioned to just go with the flow, right? Just go with the agenda or just go with what makes you look good. You know, what makes you look good and what makes you stay in line, what keeps you complacent, that is what you must preach, right? So understand that if you branch out and you're finally speaking your truth and you're finally, you know, you got your groove back and you're doing your own thing in your own type of way, you're a target. It's almost instantaneous. It's almost like you're asking for it, right? Like once you start being you, you're going to be a target, especially if you're around a bunch of folks that are not being themselves or who do not have their own thing going on. You're kind of going to stick out like a sore thumb, right? Where people are kind of seeing you in a way where it's like, what are you doing? I'm going to try to make you feel bad. They could laugh at you. They could mock you, try to make you feel bad about who you are, who you have become, who you've transformed into, things like that. And they become more hateful. It's kind of weird because if you don't like it and you're laughing and you're mocking, like, why are you watching me then? Right? Like, why do you care? You know, why do you care to stick around to laugh? Right? Like, if it's so lame, go away. Right? Like, if I'm so lame or if I'm a certain way that you think is kind of awkward or you think is kind of strange or wayward, why are you just standing around and laugh? It makes you wonder, right? But when you're up, no one's laughing now, right? Or when you could provide for yourself, nobody thinks it's funny. Oh, wow. You know, if you elevate now, people feel like, okay, so that's what he's really doing now, right? That's what he's really on now. Wow. He has that now, right? She can go there now. They have it like that now, right? Like they cannot believe all the moving parts, right? Of what your life has turned into, right? So then it's kind of like, wow, they can't laugh. There's nothing funny. And if they do laugh, it's a nervous kind of laughter. It's that variety, right? Because it's like, you know, what is this? What is this immense change? What is this immense transformation that they see in you, that they witness, that they're, you know, like a spectator of? What is this, right? India says they hate that they love us. Yep. Hmm. They cannot stand the fact that you're somebody who has admirable qualities. You know, like, wow, you know, I don't like that guy, but look at what he's doing though. You know, like, look at his grind. Look at what he's getting now. You know, they can't help. Like, they like it. You know, they like that you're able to get it. They like that you can do that, but they don't like that you're doing it, right? Or they don't like the blessings. They don't like the perks that you get, even though you're not seeing it in a perk type of fashion. You're seeing it as, okay, these are the fruits of my labor, right? This is the work I put in, and this is the output. This is what I'm getting back, right? These are the rewards that I am reaping, right? But they're seeing it as, oh, perks, a little glitz here and there, a little, like just embellishments that could be taken. It's not like that. It's ingrained in you, right? Like everything you got, everything that you are, your character, your presence, your spirit, it's all ingrained, right? It's like it's in your DNA, right? Like it's that deep. That's why people, when they come around you, they don't know how to act, right? Like they're acting like, oh, they have to like, they don't behave as themselves because you are yourself. Seems bizarre, but I've seen it. Adam, nice to see you. You said it's coded in our DNA. Right. Exactly. Nadia says they want our energy. That's why they're so obsessed. They hate on the energy, but they are enamored by the energy as well. They're taken aback by it. It's like they want to be able to draw off of it, siphon it. Energy vampires, really. It's quite interesting. But they're not laughing anymore. There's nothing to laugh about. There's nothing to mock. There's nothing to hate on and snicker about because you shifted, you changed, or you turned out to be somebody that they were not quite expecting. And so the person that they're seeing in front of them is somebody who is of a different caliber, right? Like you're not wired like everybody else. You don't move like everybody else, where they thought that you were regular. You understand? Like some folk could have thought that you were regular, like you are a plain Jane, right? But even if you were, or even if you are, they see that the so-called plainness, that they kind of like felt off of you, that's only part of the story when it comes to you. Like there's another part of you, there's another side of you that they kind of let go over their head, you know? Like for me personally, I feel like I am more of a plain individual in the sense that a little bit more clear cut. Like there's nothing really, outlandish. There's nothing really, I don't really care about clout. Like that's just kind of how I feel. That's how I am. Clout chasing doesn't really take you anywhere. It's once again, it's being on that hamster wheel, kind of thinking like you're getting ahead, but you're still not really moving ahead. You're kind of like in the same spot or in the same zone, in the same mood, in the same vibe, energy. Clout chasers run the planet right now. That's what's kind of running the planet. And social media is the driving force for it. That's the reason why it is so rampant, right? Because social media has allowed people to kind of infiltrate these apps and to just run it with clout. Clout's kind of like the gasoline now of social media. If it wasn't for, people doing outlandish stunts and doing crazy things and, things to get like outlandish actions to get attention, even to go as far as to be on the news, like, this is what's taking over the planet. And so if you present yourself to be a plain Jane, right? Or if you present yourself to be somebody who's a little bit more frugal or a little bit more of a wallflower, like somebody who doesn't do all that, then folks are going to laugh at you. Folks are going to be like, oh, you have nothing to offer. You're not with the times. They might say that you're not with the times. You're not ahead, or you're not current. You're playing, you're behind, right? Because you don't look a certain way, or you don't have certain assets, or it just seems like you're not with the clout chasing and things like that. So people will kind of like minimize your presence, or minimize who you are and what you stand for and what you have to offer, right? Not understanding you are so far ahead than most, right? Like you are so far ahead, there's no instrument to gauge that. Like it's kind of like that. Like there's no instrument to really understand how ahead you actually are, right? Like you're so ahead that to other people, it seems like, okay, you're crazy, you're behind, like you're lame, right? And that's why they stop laughing, because they'll see they were so like severely wrong about you. They were so severely off when they were trying to gauge your character. They can't digest that. It's something that they find really impossible to digest, really impossible to like understand and decipher. They're not really like understanding like how could they have missed this? How could they have missed this, you know? People will laugh at you and they're laughing because they feel like they came to the conclusion of who you were and what you had to offer, right? Not understanding you were a lot more vast. So it's kind of like, wow, like their judgment was so off, right? That they can't digest that. And so it's like tweaking type behavior that enters the scene. It could be crazy. It could be crazy for sure. Yep, it could be crazy. Mm-hmm. Josh says because we don't fake it till we make it, right? Like we don't, you know, why do all that? Why do all that? I've used this analogy before in the past where you know, there could be people online, you know, they're posting on they're posting, not posting, well, posing on, let's say, a special car, a Maserati or something like that, a Viper, ooh, a Viper, right? Everybody, you know, they're posting on the Viper, they're posting on these very fabulous exotic whips, posting it on Instagram, looking for that clout energy to come in or whatever, because it's like a currency to them, like they kind of need this. And then when the photos are done and the pictures, the you know, the session is over, they got to bring that car back to the dealership, you know. Or they gotta bring it back to the owner, or it was just a rental and it was just for that moment in time, right? Like to feel a way or to seem that way, but to what end, right? Like I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It needs to be studied. Clout chasing, you know, you don't, I'm just really bouncing off of what Josh said just now. Like, you don't gotta fake it. When you're really living that life, there's no faking it, right? And perhaps when people thought, when people saw you and they prejudged you, they could have thought that you were faking it or you were acting like out of whack or you're doing too much and it's lame, ha ha. And then when they see you, right? When they see you and they see that you're doing well, and it wasn't an act. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like you were faking it. It wasn't like you were pretending. You weren't doing it for clout. You're doing that for the love of it. You're doing it because it's real to you. You're doing it because it matters to you, right? Then they see, oh, it's not really a laughing matter anymore. There's nothing to laugh about. There's nothing to mock, right? That's why you always got to do you. Even if you have trolls around you, even if you have people trying to like get on you about what you do and how you are, you got to do you. Like you got to do what makes sense to you, what works for you, what feels right to you, not to appease the majority, right? Because if you're just living to appease the majority, you are never going to be pleased, right? You're never going to be pleased. You're going to be draining your own energy for people who don't care like that, right? So, you know, folks would love to see you like drain your energy and prove yourself. Folks love to see that. It's entertainment, right? Like the world's a stage. You know, like when people see that you're trying so hard and you're doing too much, they laugh, they mock. But when they see that you're being genuine and everything's actually working out for you and you look good and you're radiant and you feel nice, now it's not funny, right? All of a sudden now you know, they really see that you're actually doing you, like you're actually happy. You're not faking it. You're not doing too much. Actually, you're doing you. And that's just right. That's just right. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Cam says, got no choice but to do me. Exactly. And always remember, too, that you can reinvent yourself to be anybody that you want to be. So if there are facets of yourself that you are dissatisfied with, you can change that. It's just going to take a little bit of elbow grease. You know, you got to put in that work. If you feel like you're not fully where you want to be, you can change that. Don't sulk and be sad about it. Change that. Like you have so many options at your disposal. Who do you want to be? Right? What do you want to do? And you act on that and you put forth the steps to become that, to be that, to have that, to go there. Right? Like you got to put in that work. And you want to be constantly transformative in that way, and you got to live life to the fullest, even if you're being laughed at, even if you're being mocked and teased and ridiculed. Just understand, life is a journey, right? And life can be sweet, life can be sour, life, you know what I mean? Life can go any which way. But through it all, you want to make sure that you're having fun, and you want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward here. You want to make sure that you are living life to the fullest. You want to make sure that you are taking stock of your life and what doesn't serve you, and what you want to adopt, new regimens you want to adopt, dropping toxicity, keeping your stress levels controlled, all these things, right? They are very paramount to your elevation. It's very important. If you want to go up, you got to love, right? If you want to go up, you want to ignore the haters as well. You got to ignore the haters. You want to ignore the naysayers and people who say that you can't be this, you can't do that. Because at the end of the day, who's waking up? It's you. You're waking up as you. What are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? What are you going to do with what you have to offer? Who are you going to be? Right? There's so many times I've been laughed at, I cannot recall all the times, right? Like it's so many times, like chosen last, picked last, overlooked, you name it, it happened. But I'm still here, right? And I just do what I want to do these days, like I'm more in my element. I'm doing what I want to do, living life the way that I want to live, despite the adversity, or despite, the snakes, the unsavory environment. Sometimes you can get yourself into situations that you really don't want to be a part of, or you could be in a predicament that is very taxing, right? And so through it all, though, you got to make sure that you're doing what you want to do and being who you want to be. And if people want to mock you and people want to laugh at you, just understand that you're going to be able to be the one that has the last laugh, right? It's going to be folks who are gawking at you. They can't look away. They can't look away. They want to keep tabs. They want to make sure, what are you going to do next? Where are you going to go? Why would they do that? Why would they want to be in that spot, that spectator energy, if you're laughable, or if you're kind of funny, right? Or if you're kind of lame? Why would they resort now then, right, to this lurking energy, or this stalking energy, or this obsessive energy, trying to gauge, trying to see what you're trying to do now, what you're up to now, if you're funny, right? Or if you're just not able to get anything done or whatever, right? So it makes you wonder. Easter says some people are just pathetic, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. India says they laugh because they don't know what else to do. It's that nervous laughter. It's kind of like an involuntary reflex, like, oh, just, it just comes out. They can't stop it. It just kind of comes out, right? Everybody, it's always so nice to come on here and vibe, and to talk some serious things. I always love the good vibes. I thank everybody so far for liking the stream, and for watching the stream, and for sharing your insight, and for the generous donations so far as well. I really appreciate everybody here for your company, for your company. Um, as I said earlier, I've been laughed at a lot. I've been mocked a lot. I've been made fun of a lot. People thought, I grew up, people really thought that I was really lame, really weird, casted out, made fun of, chosen last, this, that, and the third. I've had instances where I've encountered these same passive aggressive individuals, or straight up bullies later on. And they're like shocked that it's me who they see. Like they're not like they're looking at me like, oh, that's you? That's you? Like they can't believe that it's me. Like why is it so hard to believe? Right? These folks will literally like put you in this like in their mind like in this low place. And because the reality is that you're not actually in that low place. In their mind, you were, but in reality, you're up, right? So it's a mismatch. Like they're getting confused. And so when they see you, it's kind of like, wow, like that's what you're doing. That's the tip that you're on. That's how you're coming now, right? Like, how are you stepping like this? Like how did you change this drastically? Not understanding that your spirit, it was always like that, right? But then sometimes it takes a little bit of time for you to get your wings, for you to get everything in check, for you to get all your ducks lined in a row. Like they didn't stay for the show. You know what I mean? They did not stay for the show. A lot of times that's just kind of what it is. They didn't stick around to see how far you actually could grow and who you actually could turn out to be. And so when they see you, right, either by chance or on purpose, years later, meetups, you know how it goes, right? And then you present yourself to be who you are now, they're astounded. Like, wow, wow. Or they could be in that real dark hating energy, like, oh, really? You know? Really? Like, wow, right? Cannot believe that you're so up, right? You're so up. You're up. It's to the point where it's like, should they pull out the binoculars, the telescope? You're super up, right? Like it's to the point where they can't fully pinpoint your location or your position. Like they know you're up. Like generally speaking, it's kind of like common knowledge. Like you're up. Like that's not debatable. But how up? How high is that? Right? Like that's how high they went that far. They did that much. That's what they've been doing. That's the type of tip they've been on. That's what they've been achieving. What? It's like that's what they're seeing when they see you, like disbelief, right? At the enormity of your growth, the positivity of your transformation, and how like humble you stay throughout that process, and how great, how expansive you actually are, and seeing how skilled, how intelligent, and how true you stay to yourself. You think they don't mull over what they used to say, how they used to move with you? You think they don't think about that? Think about how they used to make fun and how they used to laugh and how they used to taunt, right? And now when they see you, it's like, wow, that's the guy, right? That I used to think wasn't going to make it or wasn't going to be nothing. Now this guy's, I have to ask him for pointers. You know what I mean? They have to look at you like, can you help me? Can you give me some of that? Can you tell me where you're working now? How did you get that? Right? How did you do that? After they laughed at you, after they mocked, after they made it seem like you weren't gonna grow or you weren't gonna be nothing. Now they're trying to ask you to show the way. Right? So how ironic is that? How interesting. The tables always switch. The tables always turn. That's why I feel like, nobody should really be in a worried state. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be worried. Don't be anxious about it. Because at the end of the day, the tables always switch. And the people that used to laugh and gawk and kind of like poke fun at who we were and what they thought we could, these are the folks who watch you and they need you, right? They need you to show the way. A lot of the times, like direct them to the success that you have, to the joy, the blessings. Like, how did you reap that? How did you get that? How did you acquire that? How is it so long standing? How are you so abundant in it? Like, how do you have it like that? When they remember you didn't have it like that, or that's what it appeared to be. But once again, folks are too shallow. They clout chase. They think that if you don't look the part, you're not that. And so they didn't see it in you perhaps at first. Now they see, ooh, they definitely overlooked you, right? And so now when they look at you, it's just, there's too many moving parts. It's just a disbelief. It's a disbelief. Mm-hmm. David says access denied. Most high sun says we don't match energy though. Keep going up. Exactly. Exactly. India says I do laugh when people underestimate me. It's just so funny, isn't it? It's so funny. It's actually quite honestly, guys, honestly, everybody, I think that jealousy ruins everything. Jealousy ruins it's a massive destroyer of everything. It will plow over any budding union. It will destroy job opportunities. It will destroy family connections that you thought were tight and solid and just unbreakable. Like jealousy will destroy it all. And a lot of the times it's not even jealousy from our end. It's what we're receiving, what we are the recipients of. Like what is this? Dark energy, that threaten to change things permanently, right? Where you could just be doing you. You could just be doing you. You could be going up. You could be, it could have been your family that mocked you. It could have been your family who thought that you were never going to make it. Can you imagine your own bloodline, your own members of your bloodline thinking that you're not going to make it, or trying to laugh and mock every time you come around? You know what I mean? Talking, snickering. It's super, super grimy. Super grimy, ultra grimy, But that's some of the situations that we've had to face. The discomfort that starts creeping in. Dang, like, I don't really want to be around these folks. Like, this energy is dark, man. This stuff feels off, right? Moment that they see that it's permanent, like like, listen, what they were laughing with you or laughing at you about is super ironic because it's what changed everything. Like, they see it's actually real. They see that what they laughed at you about is your essence. Like, do you know how weird that is? Right? Like, they tried to mock you for who you were to the core, right? Or for what you could be, who you could be. They mocked it, they laughed, ha ha, hee hee, oh, whatever. Or even sometimes they think it's kind of cute, right? Where people feel like, oh, yeah, you're gonna be that, okay, okay. And they start giving that energy, like, nah, and it's not gonna happen. Like, oh, it's just cute. Like, it's just fairy tales, it's dreams, right? Until you actually do it, all of a sudden now they're moving funny. Like, he actually did that. That wasn't just a dream. That wasn't just, absent-minded commentary, absent-minded dreams, just a bunch of, they see that you actually had a plan, or you had a vision, you had a dream, and you weren't joking, right? Like, you weren't playing around. They could have laughed at it, thinking, oh, yeah, buddy, okay, okay. And then they see that, no, like, you actually did that. Wow, Wow. You're going to impress people everywhere you go, to the point where they want to diss you. They want to look away. They want to ignore your existence. Like, you're going to make people feel all types of ways, right? That you're expansive, different. You follow your own path, beat of your own drum type of thing. You just go your own way, while they move the way of the herd, dissatisfied, right? As if they don't have options. They're choosing the way of the herd. You're choosing the way of you. You want to go the way you want to go. It's not a laughing matter. They wish they could follow you. They wish. But oh, the herd beckons them. The herd beckons them. Oh, come. It's very cult-like. Oh, just come, strength in numbers, this, that, and the third. There could be strength in numbers, but there could be even a higher strength, a more potent strength when you go your own way, right? Like, when you do your own thing, there's nothing stronger and more palpable than that, right? So remember, when the herd beckons you, if what they have to offer doesn't align with you, It's a pretty simple decision here, right? It's a simple reject thing, right? Like, go the way you want to go. Even if the route that you're trying to take, people will laugh at, or people will mock you, or shame you, or ridicule you. You're doing things that they would not dare to do. And that's something, right? So you're setting the stage here where people are seeing, okay, there are extreme parallels here. You're on a whole other level here. You're doing something totally unfounded, right? That's how it can be. You could be doing something completely alien to what everybody else is doing. It doesn't mean that it's derogatory, even though they could turn it derogatory, or they could turn it into like a negative thing, but you know the truth that the path that you're on is anything but negative. It's all about prosperity and being true. What's more attractive than that? Right? That's where you're going to get a lot of haters on your back, because you're doing a lot of things that they wish they had the strength to do, but they're weak to the herd, right? They're weak to it's cult like. It's cult like. It comes with conditions. But when you're doing you, there's no condition. It's just do it. Go do it. Go be somebody. Folks are going to be mad. They're going to laugh at you because you're actually being yourself, and they can't do that. Or they feel like it's out of reach. Like they can't be like that. They cannot step out. They can't just live their best lives. They got to live an assigned life. They have to do what they're told to do. So when you go your own way, it's just a target on your back. And it's not going to be everybody that treats you that way, mind you. But it's going to be a lot of folks when you're seeing that backlash and negativity. It's people kind of like wishing and kind of like, why you? Why you? Why you? People are going to be feeling like, why you? What's so special about you? Why you? Why not them? What is even this? You know what I mean? Trying to like decipher your elevation, trying to decipher your character, and they're gonna see how wrong they were when you were in their energy, or when you were around them. It could have been high school stuff as well, where you were perceived a certain way in an institution. It could be high school, college, university type things as well. And then, people could be thinking that you're a certain way that's negative. And then when they see you again in the future at a later date, or some time has elapsed, they see that, okay, like you had it all figured out. And, people are going to try to put you in these juvenile games and this, strange energy, strange games. You don't care about that. You want to elevate. You want to go up. You don't care about the childish juvenile games. I remember when I was in a certain program at a college. It's not a program that I actually finished. It's a program that I voluntarily discontinued, right? Because I just didn't want to do it anymore, right? It was what was equivalent to a CNA in the United States. So whatever, the CNA workers that help usually the elderly or the incapacitated, that type of field. Like I was in a course like that, but the Canadian version, you know what I mean? And so I didn't like that course. So I discontinued. I didn't finish it. But while I was in that program, there was this girl there that I really liked. And I thought she had like really good energy. And then, I noticed that some of her associates, whenever I would be around or whenever I would come around, like they would snicker, they would sneer, keeping in mind, these are supposed to be like adults. You know what I'm saying? Like this is adults, people above 18, right? So it just kind of confused me why these grown ladies, or that's who they're supposed to be, what are you snickering about? What are you laughing about? And this girl that I took a liking to, who became my friend at the time, she was nice to me at first, And so there came a time when the energy shifted. It was almost like because she was around me, she felt like the laughter was also at her as well, because maybe of her association with me. It was super bizarre because like I'm here to try to learn. I'm not here to play friendship politics. I don't care, but they cared, they made it into something. So eventually, this girl that I really took a liking to, it's almost as though she fell to the peer pressure, or she felt like, she started to do a certain thing where we wouldn't sit together anymore. Now she would be sitting with them and making it very obvious, like she doesn't want that association and she'd rather sit with them, who she knew, right? They would laugh, they would mock, they would scoff, thinking that I would be alone or feel sad and feel negative, and not understanding that I am a people lover. I'll sit with anybody, right? I don't need you specifically, right? Like, I just took a liking to you. Okay, it didn't work out. And it's people that do these little things and then they see that the tactics or the ploys that they enact do not work. Because in the end, I'm still going up anyway. I don't care, And then one of the females in that group, one of the females in that group, I'll tell you, she had a, I feel like I'm TMZ right now. Somebody call Harvey. There was one of the women there in that group that of females that would laugh at me. She would say out loud, like, she has a husband, but she has a personal trainer and she likes him and things like that. Yo, I'm thinking to myself, man, I dodged a bullet. Like, wow, like these women are crazy. These women are inappropriate, man. I don't want to be associated to these people. They think I want to be a part of this kind of group, like these low vibrational women, right? And it was so off-putting to me. And they would speak out loud like they want to make me feel some type of way as I'm making friends, as I'm changing the scene, as I'm changing my focus, talking about a personal trainer while you're married, and you want to be with the dude and you want to see the dude and have more sessions, but you're married. It's like these, it's grimy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty grimy. And I said to myself, who wants to be a part of a group like that, man? Like, wow. And I never talked to that girl again. But trust me when I say she tried to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? She tried to talk to me again, but I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't, if you want to laugh and join that group, stay there. Stay there, because the low vibrational conversations that you guys have anyway don't excite me, right? I'm excited by what's deeper. If you have something deep to say, it will ignite me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something different. I don't care about superficial conversations anyway, right? I always respect what is deeper. That is why sometimes it can be very hard for me to connect with certain people, because I'm not about to sit there and talk about Gucci and Prada and Lacoste and clout, right? Like, these things do not excite me. What excites me is deeper conversations. What excites me is humanity, and what excites me is, real talks, right? And real vibes, and that's what I prefer, and that's what I lean towards. You know what I'm saying? I lean towards what is real. I lean towards what will really ignite my mind. And so, you're not always going to be everybody's cup of tea. I had to realize that the hard way. Like, you're going to be shunned and pushed away and mocked because you don't go the superficial way, or you don't go the herd's way. And guess what? It's not attractive. Trust me. Newsflash, you're not really missing out. You know what I mean? You're not really missing out. The only time you're missing out is when you go that route and you abandon yourself. That's when you're missing out, because you're missing out on building yourself up. You know what I mean? Like, don't miss out on that. That's a grave mistake. You do not want to miss out on building you up. That's what you're going to miss. And you don't want to regret it. You're not going to regret not going the herd's way. Trust me when I say it's so invigorating, and you could relish in that. You could feel good and you could feel positive that you're building yourself up. There's nothing more attractive than that. Don't listen to what the media tells you, and Instagram fades and things like that. That is not going to take you higher. All right. And if it and even if it helps you, like, you have to make sure that there is a distinction, right? Like, you know who you are without all that. You got to know who you are, what you stand for, without all of that, even if it's a part of the glamour, you know? Like, there has to be a distinction, and there has to be an immense respect for yourself and your values, because there's going to be people you encounter that want you to abandon your values. They want you to abandon everything that what you've built, to be controlled and to be tampered with in that way. So there has to be a clear distinction that you're willing to accept and hone in on, and you want to build yourself up, and you want to keep yourself grounded, and you want to keep yourself solid through the adversity that is bound to meet you, right? Or that you're bound to encounter. Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody. Good vibes, everybody. Good vibes, everybody. Thank you guys so much for the good vibes. Let's see what time it is right now. 9:02. It is 9:02 here in Toronto, Canada. And hope you guys are feeling nice wherever you guys are tuning in from. And I appreciate you guys for vibing out with me tonight for sure. It's always a nice vibe. It's always great when I come on here, because I get to see all of you, and I get to talk to all of you, and I get to feel a part of a community that you guys help to build, right? So it's very humbling as well, very enriching, very positive, and just uplifting in general, right? So I thank you guys for the good vibes. Always. Always. Okay. Give me one moment, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. All right. Give me one moment here. Let's hope I don't knock this whole thing over here. Let's see if I can shimmy right here back. Don't worry, guys. This is not a hoarding situation or nothing. I gotta just inch myself. I gotta do things properly over here, and not knock over my little makeshift setup. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Thank you, everybody. I love you guys so very much. How are you guys have been feeling? How have you guys been doing? I am going to be ending the stream very shortly, but I want to thank you guys for all the positive vibes, okay? Don't let people's snickers and laughter get to you, because remember, right? Those who laugh at you are now stunned in silence, or it's a stunned silence, right? It's people who laugh at you, don't know how to do nothing for themselves a lot of the time. And they see you doing everything by yourself, for yourself, right? Like, you know how to do things. You are resourceful. It's very uncanny. Very uncanny. Like, you're the one that ends up being able to get things done, right? Like, you're the one that's able to, like, do stuff for yourself, right? Where you are an educator of sorts now. Huh. That's interesting. That's interesting. Everybody, I highly encourage that you should laugh. You should smile, you should laugh, and you should feel invigorated in this way. And understand that some laughs are not all, it's not a genuine laughter. It's more of a nervous laughter. It could even be like a sneeze, like an involuntary response to something great, like to something big, which is you, that they see or who they encounter, okay? It's not a genuine laughter, like, ha ha, I really, you know, you're presenting yourself to be a whole different individual. Like, it's not your standard laughter. It's not a joyous laughter, is what I'm trying to say. It's a laughter with a lot of negative connotation attached to it. That's something different that's happening here, where people are so, like, astounded by your turnaround, or the turning of things, or the changing of everything switched, everything changed. You elevated, you went higher, you went up. You're all the way up. And when you're up and you become unreachable and they cannot find you, and they cannot judge you, and they cannot reach you, they can't link you, they cannot collaborate, they cannot hang. You know how the spiel goes. It's kind of like there's nothing funny anymore. Like you're so out of reach. The person that they used to laugh at or mock or taunt is no longer available. Like that joke is dead. You know what I mean? Or that's not happening anymore. That's not going to be a thing now, right? What's going to be the thing, right? What's going to be, the running theme now is that you going higher is the entertainment, all right? Like that's what's going to be the case, right? You going higher, you getting more. That's the show, right? That's what they get. And you know what they say, you get what you get and you don't get upset. Understand that they're not going to follow that though. They see how you're living, they see how you're moving, how you're coming, how you're stepping now. And they're going to be bent out of shape, seeing like, wow, this is you. This is you. There's no tampering with you. There's no laughing at you, right? They got the giggles out. They got the sillies out, right? And now they feel silly. Everything switched. I always like to say that the tables always do turn, right? The scales tip, the tables turn, right? What was this way is going to turn to that. That's why you should never be overly troubled by negative circumstances, even because you got to remember, like, the tables always turn. I could be in a negative situation, but it's not going to last. It's going to switch. It's going to turn around. It's going to be better. It's going to get better. And I just got to wait on it and do my part and do my thing until that takes place. All right. And then the negativity is going to be a distant memory. It's going to be something of the past. It's not going to be something that is a hindrance. It's going to be something that is a lesson, just a part of your past, just a chapter. And you get to move forward in your story. All right, everybody, you get to move forward. You get to prosper and live your best life. Okay. Because you know what? You deserve it. You deserve it. You did the work. You deserve it. You should go up. You should be happy in this way. Let them laugh, right? Let them laugh. Let them mock. Bet they're watching you, though. You know what I mean? Bet they're stalking you. Bet they're lurking on you. I bet. All right? I bet that they are trying to take pointers from you. They might even hit you up and outwardly mention these things. Like they need you now. After they laughed at you and said, oh, you didn't have nothing. Now they see you have the keys. Now they want something. Now they need you to help to get them to a certain spot. How ironic is that? Right? But everybody, I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let it be known if you guys want me to do more frequent streams. Like I don't do it very often where I do multiple streams a week, but I do enjoy doing streams quite a bit. I love talking on the fly, right? And I love just seeing all of you here all at once. It's just a culmination of positive. Like I feel like hype, like I feel good, right? It definitely energizes me. So let me know if you guys feel like you want to see me do more streams, right? Let it be known for sure. God gives, says every day. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you guys for the positive feedback. I am working on a short story, a new short story. If you guys wanted to know, I have self-published a lot of written work. I don't like to do a lot of promotional activity on my channel because I do prefer everybody to just like make your own choice. Like if you want to check it out or not, things. I don't overly promote what I do, like what my loves, my hobbies and things like that. But to mention, I do have a new short story coming up that's going to be released. It's called The Puppet. All right. And so I'm going to be making a post about that. I love to write. And so, I do have a collection of short stories that I have written. If you want to check it out, I mean, it is available to see on my profile there. But like I said, I don't like to do like too many heavy promotions, like it's there. Same with my merch, like it's there, like whenever you guys want to check it out, if you guys want to check it out, there's never any pressure. Never feel like when you come on this channel that there's going to be like an enticement thing, being pushed. I don't move like that, right? There's a lot of great things coming. I'm hoping to get on a call with some of you guys. I know some of you have been talking about you guys want to talk, you guys want to have conversations, you guys want to talk about different things that you've been going through, and I'm getting ready to be able to hear what you guys are saying. I want to start doing some phone calls, and so maybe in some weeks, maybe not too long from now, I'm going to open up that line and we can have some conversations. And I'm even going as far as to kind of like hope, like in the future, that we could do like an in-person event. That would be really enticing to me because I'm more of a, um, like I love people quite a bit, and I would really love to do like a very immersive event where I get to see a lot of you guys in person. How fun would that be? Right? Like how exciting and exhilarating would that be? I feel like that would be a really positive, and it's not gonna have a stringent format either. It's just kind of like, hey, like let's vibe, right? So I'm kind of looking forward to like something like that in the future, but logistically, I would just have to plan that out because like I am from Canada. A lot of you guys are from the States, so there are some moving parts there that would have to be situated. But nonetheless, it is definitely something that I'm thinking about because I'm all about building community and all about meeting people from all walks of life. And I see a lot of you guys here a lot of the time, and I just would love to meet you guys in person, actually. I would really like that quite a bit. So if you guys are open to that too, like an in-person event, let that be known as well, because I'm definitely open to that for sure. All right, everybody. I would love to meet a lot of you. That would be so exciting. Like that'd be fun. To me, that would be fun. All right, everybody. So let's stay on our positive tips. Let's stay on the positive path. All right, so many good things are coming for all of us here on the Mindset Elevator. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I thank you guys so much generously for the donations, for the likes, for the watches, for the commentary, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the talk. I enjoyed all of your company. Everybody stay up. We'll stay connected. It's a long weekend here. It's Easter. So everybody, please enjoy, stay safe, and have a good time. Enjoy life to the fullest, okay? Everybody keep going up. Keep going up. My birthday's coming up too. Haley said her birthday's next week. Happy early birthday, Haley. Hit me up on here if when your birthday lands, okay? My birthday's at the end of May. So, that's something. That is something, right? But everybody, let's stay vibing out. Let's stay going up. Okay. I love you guys so much. Let's keep building a community, right? And let's keep going up as a community and enriching each other's lives and just keep having fun. It's all about fun. It's all about realness. Let's just keep going up in that way. Thank you, everybody. All right. Stay up. I'll see you guys soon. I'm ending the stream now. Thank you guys for your company. Enjoy your evenings or early mornings, depending on where you're stationed right now. All right. And I'll see you guys soon. Okay. Bye.